This is the Aftermarket Radio Network.
Welcome, everyone, to yet another episode of Diagnosing the Aftermarket A to Z. I'm Matt Fanslow, and when some wild-eyed, 8-foot-tall maniac grabs your neck, taps the back of your favorite head up against the barroom wall, and he looks you crooked in the eye and asks if you paid your dues, you just stare that big sucker right back in the eye, and you remember what old Matt Fanslow always says at a time like that. Have you paid your dues, Matt? Yes, sir, the check is in the mail. And I would like to talk about Quid Pro Quo with Tool Dealers. But first, let's hear a word from our sponsor, Napa Auto Tech Training. Check out our Napa Auto Tech Facebook page to find out the latest Napa Auto Tech virtual class scheduled at a time that is convenient for you. Learn from the comfort of your home. So I guess I was thinking about this the other day because I don't know about your guys' shops, but our shop gets visited by 3 ghosts. I meant 3 tool dealers. And that's as well as some of the parts stores have outside salespeople that swing by. And of course, they're talking about parts, but once in a while they have, of course, the tool catalog, which seems to be the same between almost everybody. They might have a deal on certain tools, whatever that may be. I just notice that the tool dealers, as much as I like them, no, I'm not speaking just from my perspective on, more of the technical stuff, diagnostics and programming. It's really shop wide. Anything and everything anybody does, technical, mechanical, specialty areas, that if the tool dealer has a background in auto repair and they've been doing the tool dealing for very long, had their trucks for very long, it's like anything. You start kind of falling behind. And it's not unreasonable. I'm not taking digs at these people. So please don't interpret me as taking a shot at them. It's really not. It's just the way it is. But because of that, a lot of times they just don't know what it is you want, and more importantly, what you need. And I'm not trying to sound like the Rolling Stones here either, but over the years, I have developed a pretty darn good relationship with a couple of the tool guys. And beyond that, this isn't to ignore developing relationships with outside salespeople from the parts stores if need be. Working on developing relationships over time with tool distributors, manufacturers that you may meet at trade shows. And so it's, running theme for, it's not just this podcast. I think it's any and every automotive podcast. And if I started listening to plumber podcasts and doctor podcasts and whatever else, is probably a running theme of theirs too. Networking. Getting out there, meeting people, shaking hands, getting to know them, and letting them get to know you. But I guess I'm sticking more to the more local stuff, at least for the purpose of this idea for an episode, that they don't necessarily know, and they don't necessarily know what's out there. Meaning, I'll just use this as an example. So the tool dealers, the truck drivers, if you will, or the tool truck owners, if they're going to sell you some air conditioning equipment, and we'll just pick on ultraviolet lights, they're probably selling a couple of brands that we would probably associate. I'm avoiding saying the name because I don't know. I'm not trying to trash companies. I guess that's not really where I'm going with this, because we still buy their dies, and there's other tools they have that we would buy. But we'll just focus for the purpose of the discussion, like UV die lights. The ones from those 2 companies really come to mind, end up not being so good and kind of pricey, to the point of when you find alternatives, it's upsetting. It's frustrating because you kind of feel duped, not by the tool truck or the salesman, because why would they know? They get sent the stuff, whatever it is, the product sheets, go to their meetings, and this is what they have available to them. But they may not know that there's other companies out there that specialize in lights or leak detection lights, or leak detection in general. And you find that for maybe the same amount of money and sometimes less, you can buy a light. I'll toss one out there. The UV Beast is a freaking beast. Tool truck guys, never heard of them. Tool truck salespeople, never, ever heard of them. I don't mean to say guys because we know there's Val. Never heard of Val? Go on Instagram. Tool truck salespeople, why would they know? I mean, that's a lot of research on their end with time they may not have because they're essentially small business owners. I don't think they necessarily get to just do their route, leaving the house at 7 a.m. and get back home at 5, 6 o'clock and shut her down and have all this time to research. So that's just one example. There's so many more. And in getting to know these people, you may find out, they're kind of hamstrung a little bit on what they can sell. Depending on the franchise, they maybe can only sell what's authorized by that company. But some of them have a little more leeway. You could be talking to them about these things, and they could maybe start offering that as a product that they would have never known about until you show them, you mention it to them, and they can see the difference. And now they're better educated, and now they're going into shops with product that sometimes you need. Sometimes it's really, 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 really nice to have. Now it's a want because it makes life easier. It is better. And because of that, I'm thinking quid pro quo, which is constantly referring to movies, but it's a real saying. It's not just limited to Anthony Hopkins' Hannibal Lecter character in Silence of the Lambs, but it's a favor granted or expected in return for something, like in this case, information. So I'm sharing information with you. Hopefully they make it worth your while over time. Maybe not cutting you a check there, but maybe giving you a little bit of a deal. Not telling you they're because you're helping them picking out good products to carry or help these guys out, help these people out. So again, when I'm speaking guys, I'm thinking more generically. When you're helping them out, they probably need it because, man, I can't imagine that truck franchise is such a great gig anymore. Everybody can just go on frickin' the internet, go to Amazon, order their wrench sets, get them for the same price or less than what the tool guy would sell it. Well, the tool person's probably buying it for about the same price or a little bit less. Napa Autotech training sessions are being conducted day and night in a town near you. This training caters to every level within your organization, be it a mechanical assistant, a mechanical specialist, a technology specialist, or a driver safety calibration specialist. Imagine a one-stop shop training partner in Napa Autotech that will lead your team to a path to greatness. Autotech's entry-level Build-A-Tech classes convert the untapped potential of your new hires into money-making mechanical specialists. Autotech's higher-level tech update classes introduce specialists to the world of ever-changing technologies, which prevents your shop from getting technologically stagnant. Remember, if you're not moving forward, you're falling behind. And, turning to the front of the store, the Autotech Service Advisor class is an awesome way to hone your client advocate skill set, ultimately benefiting the customer through an improved vehicle repair experience. But it doesn't stop there. Imagine an electric vehicle class that takes your specialist well past the mundane, yet necessary safety topics. Well, it's here. Autotech's EV Ready training is a week-long curriculum that takes participants through a hands-on experience involving hybrids and electric vehicles. The session kicks off with the use of PPE and proper tooling while touching on required OSHA regulations. Then, the students dive into the lab vehicles to gain knowledge of the common high-voltage components on EV and hybrid vehicles and their function. Attendees will be taken on a path exposing them to different electric vehicle manufacturers to compare component form and location. Additionally, information about Level 1 and Level 2 charging systems will be included, along with a quick look at DC to DC charging. The operation and maintenance of subsystems are explored, including the different modes of Tesla operations, and so much more. So what are you waiting for? Commit to taking your business to the next level with Napa Autotech training. We got customers complaining to us that they can buy the alternator for less than what we're selling it to them, but we're giving it some value, standing behind it. What's the tool dealer going to do? They have to buy it for however much and turn around and sell it for a profit. This shouldn't blow anyone's minds. That can't be such a great gig nowadays, especially if they've got what statistically is just an aging clientele, right? The average age of the mechanic nowadays, I'm pretty sure is like 48, 49, 50 years old. That's the average age. At that age, everybody's probably got all the basic stuff they need. They're not really buying wrench sets anymore. If they are, they're buying them at home. So it just doesn't seem like such a good gig. They need help. And if we can help them a little bit, maybe they help us back. And you could be that resource. And this is also like a plea, not that a whole bunch of tool franchise drivers are listening to this podcast, but it's a plea to them that, hey, you should be looking to find a technical specialist, a mechanical specialist to kind of bounce ideas off of, to kind of go to and say, hey, you know what are you seeing that's really cool? And where are you getting it from? And I'm sure the MacGo guys not want to hear about how Snap-on's got something really cool, but maybe this franchise driver isn't so handcuffed with what they can sell. And you can cost them a few ideas of, have you ever heard of Avidia? Have you ever heard of, UV Beast? And we could go on and on. You guys would know far better than I the other options out there. And yes, I got my stuff online from the companies, not off Amazon, direct from the companies, because that's the option I had. And then when I got them and found out how good they are, tool truck driver that I got or salesperson that I got, owner, hey, come here, check this out. And their minds are blown. And how else would they know? So then comes time that, looking to buy a tool or subscription or something like that, wow, I got a little bit of a break. And I just think I don't expect it. It's nice. It's nice that, hey, I'm looking to help you out. They're helping me out a little bit. I just appreciate the gesture and appreciate that they find value in the suggestions, and then learning about shops starting to buy some of this stuff and realizing the benefits of whatever it may be. So, I mean, that's kind of my big pitch here is that we need to form these relationships, these back and forths, and then they can come to us. They know us to be a resource. Hey, this is the new catalog. This is a new flyer. Or this is the best, actually. This is the best. I just went to a salesman's meeting and they're showing off this whatever tool and they're just saying it is the cat's ass. Have you ever heard of it? Oh yeah, I've heard of it. What do you think? Well, if you don't like your client, you could sell them that. Or it is. That thing's a beast. But be aware. Yours is rebadged something else. And if you're going to a client that's a little bit savvy, they're going to know it. And yours might be priced too high. Or another scenario that has come up is tool guy will come up and be like, hey, so-and-so is looking at this tool, and scan tools are by far the easiest to pick on. They're looking at this scan tool. You said it was pretty good. And yeah, it is good. Well, they found it on Amazon for quite a bit less. And then you can arm them with the information of, oh, well, you better tell them to be really, really careful if they're going to do that. And by careful, probably mean don't do it, because what they're buying isn't what they think they're getting. They're going to get the tool, but it's going to be a non-US market tool or non-North American. And then when they go to update it, they're going to run into problems. Or if they have to get some warranty on it, they're going to run into some problems. If they're getting it from you, they're getting a legitimate US or North American market tool. And, oh, by the way, you're there to help back it up too. Stand behind it. There's merit to that. So, arming them with this information that would be rough to find out, except the hard way, right? They would learn it after the shop bought it and just ran into the nightmare. We can be those resources. Have you ever tried to sell a powertrain table? What about these EV battery carts? You got these shops. Are they going to be getting into EV? How deep are they going to get into it? What do you know about high voltage gloves and, expiration, stuff like that? Do they know they even need it? Do they know where they would even go to get one? Maybe it's something they don't want to get into. Maybe they fear liability. High voltage glove testers. Stuff they would never have dreamt of selling off a truck. Stuff that a lot of shops would have never dreamt of buying until somebody's walking in with it, showing them and going, oh man, we are working on some EVs. We are working on some hybrids. We have been working around high voltage battery packs. No, we don't have any high voltage gloves around. So this is the stuff we can be thinking about. And I know I keep kind of going back to the technical stuff because that's kind of my world, but it definitely translates into mechanical, just little stuff, tools. I know for my guys, they really like the adapters for certain wheels that spin over through. So they're almost like lug bolts. Not that there's so many anymore, but some vehicles have like lug bolts instead of lug nuts. And so these screw in and make it much easier for holding the wheel where it needs to be to run the rest of them in and stuff like that. A lot of tool dealers that we had never seen anything like it. Didn't even know they existed, even if it's in their catalogs. I just think if you can reach out and help some of these people, because I honestly just don't know that it's such a great gig anymore. They're just not selling the new stuff when they would have young people coming in regularly. And I hopefully not just coming in, buying tool sets, going broke, quitting the shop, and now the dealer's got a whole bunch of used tools, which I guess kind of benefits some of us, but that's not a good strategy. I like helping people out in general. I think that's what we do day to day is we're helping people out through their servicing, maintaining, repairing their vehicles. There's other relationships we have. Our organization expands well outside of the walls of the building of the shop and includes many other things. And we're these symbiotic systems. We need each other, and tool dealers absolutely fall under that. And if I can help them out, hopefully they can help me out, even help the rest of my quote unquote competition keep improving too, because that helps everybody, right? It's really a rising tide. I hope you found that interesting. I hope next time the tool dealer swings by, maybe have a few words with them about how you might be able to help. In doing so, hopefully it ends up long term helping you out. So yeah, if you enjoyed this, please shoot me a message, or if you got ideas for a podcast episode, or you'd like to join me for an episode, please don't hesitate to reach out. Give me a shout out on my email, mattfanslowpodcast@gmail.com, or message me through Instant Messenger is a good way. And thank you to the Aftermarket Radio Network for making this possible. And thank you to Napa Auto Tech Training for sponsoring. And until next time, take care.
You've been listening to Matt Fanslow, diagnosing the aftermarket A to Z on the Aftermarket Radio Network. Follow Matt on your favorite listening app. He's very interested in what you have to say. Let him know what you'd like him to cover and come on the show. Matt is all for advancing the aftermarket. Find Matt Fanslow on social media and connect, or on aftermarketradionetwork.com.